Hey everybody, welcome back to DevMoney, and today we're going to be talking about credit cards. Now you may be wondering what the best course of action is to build your credit in 2021, and there can be a lot of conflicting information out there that can be very confusing to sift through and find out what the best course of action is to take. On one side of the coin, you have the so-called credit card hackers who get 10 plus credit cards and use different strategies to maximize the amount of benefits they get so they can get free hotels, free flights, free travel, sometimes even free electronics. And on the other side of the coin, you have the Dave Ramseys of the world who will yell at you if you even think about getting a credit card. No joke. So what is the right decision to make? Now, ultimately, that's going to be up to you to make that decision. Don't just take what I say because you watch this video and go apply it immediately. Really think it through, watch some other videos, read some articles, and decide what you think is right for your life. All right, so to begin, what do people like Dave Ramsey have against credit cards? The biggest reason that people like Dave Ramsey are so against credit cards is because the idea of getting into consumer debt, maximizing your credit cards for things that you don't really need, and then paying the minimum balance on it and paying all of that interest is really just doing yourself a large disservice. And this point I 100% agree on. Because imagine getting your first credit card, you have a $1,000 limit on it. You get it in the mail, you open it up, you're so excited, you take this new shiny card out and you think it's time to go on a shopping spree. And you go max it out, you buy a PlayStation, you buy new clothes, you take all of your friends to Chick-fil-A, and you just have a party. And now you spent that $1,000 over the weekend with no real way of paying it back. And with most credit cards charging somewhere between 17 to 23% interest rates, which is exceptionally high, you're gonna be paying that $1,000 balance off for over 5 years. And I don't know about you, but that's just way too long to have yourself enslaved to this credit card, paying this minimum balance every single month just because you wanted to have one weekend of fun. And this ends up trapping you in this cycle where you're paying many multiples over what you actually paid for those items. And when you're doing this on multiple credit cards, you can see how your finances will get all tied up paying these credit card balances off, and you won't actually get anywhere near financial freedom. And this is exactly why people like Dave Ramsey are so against credit cards. They take a lot of self-control and they oftentimes do more damage than the good that they can do. So that's the case against them. And I agree, if you're not gonna have the control to pay off your balance every month and you're gonna be paying minimums, paying all of that interest, I would say don't get the credit card. It's not worth it. Save your money, pay cash. It's a better option. But in the case for credit cards, there's one important thing for you to need to understand. I am only in support of getting and using a credit card when you pay off the balance in full every single month, thus keeping you from paying any interest at all. When done this way, the credit card really can just act a lot like a debit card. You rack up all of the charges and then you can just pay it off directly from your checking account each month. And there's several advantages to doing this, which I'm going to go through. The number one advantage to paying off your balance every single month is you're not paying any interest. Now that's good and everything, but you're probably thinking,
so what? I can use my debit card and not pay any interest and not even have to worry about it.
And you're exactly right. And that's why the second advantage to getting a credit card and using it is that it will build your credit score. And your credit score will be very important if you ever plan on financing a car or a house or another big ticket item. There are many factors involved in your credit score, and ultimately you want the highest one possible. But two of the biggest factors that determine your credit score are how long you've had credit and if you consistently pay off your credit on time. Also be aware that people like Dave Ramsey advocate for paying 100% cash for a car and 100% cash for a house. So if you're taking that route, you theoretically don't even need a credit score and can just forget about it totally. But if you're not planning on doing that and you're gonna finance a house or you're gonna finance a car, the higher the credit score, the better, because it's ultimately gonna save you money. When you have a higher credit score, lenders are gonna see you as a better borrower and they're gonna give you a lower interest rate, thus saving you money. And that's gonna add up to a lot, especially when you're getting a 30-year mortgage on a house. Now, the third advantage to credit cards is that most rental companies, whether you're renting a car, Sea-Doos, a boat, a tractor, whatever, they want you to have a credit card on file. Often even hotels will want you to have a credit card on file when you're booking a room. So it can often be a hassle at the front desk of whatever rental company you're at, trying to get them to accept your debit card. Some will, but also some won't. So that's something you need to take into consideration if you're gonna go without a credit card, is you're kind of missing out on that convenience of having it. So it's really kind of a silly and simple thing, but having a credit card will just save you a hassle when you're ever going to rent a car or anything like that. Now, the fourth and probably the biggest advantage, in my opinion, to getting a credit card is the points that you're able to earn with the card. Whenever you swipe your credit card to pay for something, you're gonna get a certain percentage back in the form of points that are gonna add up and accrue in your account, and you're gonna be able to use those to sometimes even pay down your credit card balance, redeem them for meals, redeem them for travel, flights, hotels, electronics, and all kinds of other things. Now, there are tons of different credit cards, and some of them have advantages that others do not, and vice versa. And that's something to look into when choosing the right credit card that fits your lifestyle. Also, credit cards will offer bonus points when you spend a certain amount within the first 3 months months of opening the card. Now, I never advocate for going out and spending money on things that you don't need just to get the bonus points. That just does not make any sense. But if you get a new credit card and say you need to spend $3,000 within the first 3 months and they'll give you 50,000 bonus points, which are worth, say, $750. That's a pretty common reward out there these days. If you're already spending $2,000 a month on gas, food, going out with friends, playing Topgolf, then it would make sense in my head to use that credit card for those purchases, and within a month and a half, you'll have spent that $3,000 on things you were already gonna pay for anyway. You can pay it off in full, and then you're gonna get those bonus points, and you can use those for travel or other things that you want. And this is one of the reasons I and many other people like credit cards, and it's because when you use them this way and you utilize these bonus points, you're essentially getting free money back. And this is where you get people who credit card hack. And what they do is they're strategic with the credit cards that they have and what purchases they put on each card in order to maximize the amount of points that they get from that purchase. And again, I cannot stress to you enough that this does not make any sense to do if you're not paying off your balance in full every month, because paying interest on your purchases is going to totally and completely negate any points or bonus points you're earning from these credit cards. So just remember that, it's super important. There are a ton of instances where people have paid for all of their hotels, all of their flights, all of their travel expenses just from their points earned from their credit cards. For example, the hotel I'm in right now paid completely with points from my credit card, and I love it. I personally have stayed in about half a dozen hotels and gotten free meals just this year, just from credit card points. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to make this video, because I've gotten so much benefit from credit cards and their points. And I know a lot of you out there can also benefit from getting credit cards and using their points, as long as you use them responsibly. And again, pay it off every month. Don't forget. So in summary, if you need to build your credit score and you're responsible enough to pay off your credit card every single month and not use it for stupid purchases that you're not going to pay off, then getting a credit card is not an evil thing to do. It's not a bad thing to do, and can actually be very rewarding and beneficial if used properly. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions. I'm happy to hop down there and answer them for you, and I'll see you in the next video.